What's up, guys? So I have the Losi LMT 4-wheel drive monster truck. It's the 1/8 scale, son of a digger truck, obviously. I'm going to tell you a couple things that you should know before you buy it. So first and foremost, I'm going to say that I am 100% happy with my purchase of this truck. It's been fun so far. I've had it for 2 weeks and I've ran it every single day. But there is a couple of flaws with it that you should know before you buy it. I'm not trying to point you away from buying it. Like I said, I absolutely love the product and I even want a second one to have around. So as you already noticed, you probably already see that my axles are blue, the front and rear axles. So yes, those are aftermarket, obviously, and they are aluminum. So my top 2 reasons on why I've already put aluminum axles in it is because, for one, they look good. They're blue. It matches my suspension on the truck almost perfectly. But for number 2, these 4-link bars on the front and rear on the stock axles, which are plastic, when you're hitting jumps, they were, everything was fine. But when I started doing backflips off the tree, which, it wasn't too aggressive or anything, just normal backflip, kind of like some of these guys do with jumps and whatnot. These 4-links, the mounts kept pulling away from the axle. So the factory ones, they have 2 screws in this 4-link mount inside of there that's screwing into the plastic axle. And those mounts are also plastic. So as you were hitting the backflip, and some of these jumps, I'm sure hitting it off this curb and whatnot, probably didn't help the case any, but they would just easily pull out of that axle there. And yeah, I got mine to screw back in on the stock axle, but it obviously isn't going to hold. It more or less strips the hole. And I ended up putting electrical tape around the screws and they tightened up. But you'll see a lot of people, they'll run a zip tie through here, through the 4-link here around the axle. Obviously you don't want to go over your steering link, but it just kind of helps brace it up some. And no, not all 4 of them was doing it. It was actually just the front driver's side here that was doing it, that was kept pulling out. The other ones were fine, but I did go ahead and zip tie all of them, all 4 of them. And I ended up putting 2 zip ties on this one just because it was the one coming loose. And it was holding, but I invested in these, and no, these are not the expensive ones, the Treal brand. I got these on eBay, and I'll leave the link down below. But that is a Treal servo saver right there, and then that's a Flash Hobby servo. So the reason I bought the eBay axles is because obviously I didn't want to pay $170 per axle. I got both these for $100, and that's $100 for the pair together. That's all I paid. And everything mounted up just like it should. I literally tore my old axle apart and put everything back. And no, I did not need any bearings or shims for the axle for the diff to fit. It all went in 100% like factory. And as you can see, my drive shafts are factory, if you're familiar with this truck or not. So no, I didn't change the drive shafts. Another cool thing with these aftermarket axles is the different shock positions. So I put it back almost where it was on the factory axle. You only have 2 holes on the factory axle, so I kind of put it in the same general area. I don't really know if you're hitting jumps, if you really want the shocks in, but I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about it. So yeah, that's one of my biggest complaints, where the axles are full plastic. But I was hard on it the whole time I've owned it so far. And a lot of people don't know this, but the front and rear axles are the exact same. So just keep that in mind. So if you really want to, you can put 4-wheel steer on these. You just have to change the hubs, put steering knuckles on there, get your linkage. And these axles already have the servo plate mounting spots. So that servo will sit right here. You get a servo saver, connect your linkage that's connected to your knuckles, and you have steering. You just have to somehow hook it up on your controller. And just to show you here, you can see it's the same axle. This is the front, obviously, but it has all the steering on there. And then you got the knuckles and all that good stuff. So my next thing that you should know about is these shocks are plastic, where they mount on the bottom here. They're aluminum up here, but they're plastic down here. And I experienced these ripping apart, hitting jumps. So I have limiting straps on the way. People really recommend those. That way your shock's not stretching all the way and pulling this apart down here. But they do make aluminum shocks, and I actually have a set that's supposed to be delivered here soon. And they're fully blue and fully aluminum. My stock servo also started going out, and I think it had something to do with the way the truck was landing whenever I was doing those back flips when these four links were pulling out. It was grinding real hard. It wouldn't want to go left. So I bought this flash hobby only for like 40 bucks on Amazon, and I'll also link that down below. And I mean, it works just fine for me. And it's a 45 kg. And like I said, it's got the Treal servo saver on there. It is a 25 tooth gear on the servo there, so you need the 25 tooth servo saver, you know, for it all to mount up like it should. And I mean, so far it's handled everything I've put it through. This bumper here is also off of Amazon, and yes, it is bent. Before you say something, I messed up and I hit a curb, and I actually bent this whole frame right here, but I got it all bent back together as it should. I put it in the vise and everything. Everything's good now. Truck's driving. I just couldn't get the bumper straightened out. Another thing that isn't a big deal are the battery straps. I like the rubber, but I already ripped it right here, and obviously it wouldn't mount, so I had to put a new one on. They do send you an extra one, so it's bound to happen, but you better just order a couple more and have them on standby, or else you'll lose your battery. And yes, this thing is very fast. That is why the whole top of it is scuffed up. I keep flipping it back on two wheels and it keeps rolling over, you know, and sliding on its roof. It comes with the package I bought. It came with 3S 50C battery. That's perfect. Like I said, they're fast. And on the box it says it'll go 45 miles an hour, but I'm not really sure what it goes. One more complaint that really aggravates me is this thing's full of Allen head screws, you know, to hold everything together. Well, as you see here, this screw is gone. Well, it's actually not gone. It's actually behind my skid plate here, my aftermarket skid plate. Reason for that is these heads, some of them are stripped from factory. Kind of aggravating, because then you gotta deal with that mess, you know, trying to get everything off. And I even noticed it on the stock axles. I had some issues getting a couple things off. Luckily, you know, I could be rough with that axle since I wasn't using it. And I was able to get everything apart that I needed. But yeah, that's probably the one thing that makes me mad, because they shouldn't strip that easy. And for one, they shouldn't be stripped from factory before you do it yourself. But what do you do? I'll go ahead and I'll power it on, show you how the steering is. That way you can see it with that Flash Hobby servo and that Treal servo saver. And the headlights actually do come on. Can't really see them because it's daylight. I mean, you can kind of see them. You can really see that bent bumper too. But no, like I said, I'm real happy with this servo. I didn't want to spend the 160 bucks that a lot of people do. There you go. I mean, it works just fine. And it's way better than the stock one. And that servo saver does a great job as well. So I'm really happy with it. Servo saver's a little expensive, you know, for what it is, but everybody swears by that brand, so I took the word. So far, I'm happy with it. You know, like I said, that servo, I only paid like 40 bucks for it on Amazon. I'll have it linked down below. There you have it. So far, I mean, I love the truck. I can't complain too much except for what I just told you about. It's very fun, and like I said, I'm really happy with my purchase. I'd recommend this thing to anybody. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, 4-link, solid axle monster truck, 4-wheel drive, Monster Jam license. You can't get any better than that. So thanks for watching. Hope you found some info watching this. You know, there's a couple things that you should know or whatnot. and I'll link everything that I have down below. Go check them out.